The built-in mail application in Windows 8 has been completely redesigned from previous versions. Let's take a look. I have it in the upper left corner here. I'll click the tile. And the first thing you notice is that this is a very clean screen. There aren't a lot of buttons and boxes and all that stuff cluttering it up. Over on the left, I'm using a Hotmail account. Now, don't let that throw you, because if you're not using Hotmail, you can use other accounts also. And let's take a look at that right away. I'll roll the mouse down over the lower right corner of the screen. When the charms come up, I'll click Settings. I'll go here and click Accounts. So there's my test Hotmail account, and I'll click Add Account. And you see, I could have accounts from any of these services. So if you've signed up for Outlook.com, if you have a corporate Exchange server, if you're using Google or any of these others, or something that's not even listed, you can choose Other Account, and you can simply put in your credentials. I'll just click one of these, and I can put in my address, password, whatever else it looks for, and then connect it. Now I'm going to cancel out because I'm not going to use those. If I do that, and I have, let's say, 2 or 3 accounts that I'm using, they will all be listed here on the left side, and then I can switch between them. So I have my inbox of mail that's just coming in, regular mail. Drafts, maybe if I'm writing a message and I'm not quite ready to send it yet, maybe I want to edit it later, I can save it so I don't have to redo it. Anything that I've sent will be in here. There's some test messages. Outbox, you probably won't have anything in there very often. Messages in the outbox are simply waiting to be sent. Maybe you don't have an internet connection and you write a message. When you've got your connection back, then the messages in the outbox will get sent. Junk mail, we all know what that is, and anything that's deleted will be in here. I've cleaned out my deleted items. Let's go back to the inbox. And I'm going to go and send a message. So I'll click over here in the upper right corner. I'll click that plus. And I'll send to one of my other accounts. And if you've sent mail to other people, other accounts recently, they'll show up. So I'll just click this one here. I could put in a carbon copy if I want. I'll click Show More. If I want a blind carbon copy is the same thing as regular carbon copy, except that the recipients don't see each other. So I could send to 12 people, and none of those recipients know it. I'll click up here, add a subject. I'll say Windows 8 is cool, and then I can click in here for a message. Bow ties are cool too. Whatever it is. And if I don't want that sent from Windows Mail, I can remove it. And we could do a little bit of editing. I'll just select this text here. And when I select it, you notice this little taskbar pops up. I could change the font. Maybe I decide I want to use Verdana. Verdana is an expanded font. And maybe larger size. I'll select it again. I could choose italic and underline. Maybe I want a color. I'll make it orange there. And I'll just right click somewhere in the blank space. You can insert emoticons, all those little smiley faces and all that. But just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. So I'm just going to leave that where it is. You could also do bullet lists and numbered lists. So just something like Monday, Tuesday. It's kind of a boring list, but I'll select it. And then down over here, I'll click More. And then I could make that a bulleted list. I could make that a numbered list. Now, I've got a blank space here. Sometimes it's hard to get in there. It fights you. But I'll just click on that blank space. I'll press Delete. And you see it reorders the numbers. And to send, I'll click this little button up here in the upper right corner. What I'm going to do is take that message that I just sent to myself, go to the other computer, my iPad really, and then reply to it. And you see the message comes right in, and I can click it, and I can see there's my Genius reply. Now let's say I want to send a message that has an attachment. And I'll click that plus, and I'll send to myself again. Now, when I'm ready to attach. I'll just right click, and from the bottom here I'll choose attachments. Now these photos are in my pictures library. If you have pictures in your pictures library, you could use one of those. If you want to take pictures that I've provided in the project files, copy them and paste them into your pictures library, you can do that. If you haven't watched the chapter on copying and moving files and folders, you could go back and watch that and learn how to do it. But what if you want to attach an item? It could be a picture, it could be a document, it could be anything, and it's not in the pictures library, it's somewhere else. What you could do is this. See where it says Files, click the down arrow, and here are common places that you probably have files. So this is the Documents folder, the Music folder, Videos folder. Probably don't want to send videos by email. You could also grab images off your camera if you want, or if you have a SkyDrive account. But what if you have an image somewhere else completely? I'll go to the desktop, and here's the Project Files folder. Click that. I'll go into the Chapter 5 folder. I'll go into the Pictures folder, and they're the same images, but you can see I'm getting them from a different place. I can choose one of them. I can click to choose more of them if I want. I'll just unclick. I'll just leave this one here selected and click Attach. And it gets put in there. Now here's what's going on. You might wonder, gee, isn't that image a little bigger? This is simply a thumbnail of the picture that I'm sending as an attachment. And you can even see here it says one file attached. Also, this option, send by SkyDrive, if you have a SkyDrive account, the Mail app will take the picture or document, whatever it is, it'll upload it to SkyDrive, and then the recipient will get a link to that particular attachment. And maybe I'm not ready to send it yet, so I'm going to right-click, go down here, Save as Draft. I'll go up here, click the X. It's another way of saving draft. And now when I go into the Drafts folder, I see that message. And then I can edit it if I want. Click the pencil to edit it. I'll save that as draft. So I could save that and work on it at any time, like a regular document. Let me show you a few quick options for Mail. Roll the mouse down over the lower right corner, go to Settings, go to Account. So here's the account I'm using. I'll click it. And the first thing is I could give it a different name other than Hotmail. You know, I could call this something like Company Mail. How often do I want to check for new mail? I could do it by timing, or hourly. Manual means I would right-click and then choose Sync from the lower left. But I'm going to leave as items arrive, so that'll be the fastest. What date range of mail do I want to download? Do I want to sync this computer to what's up on the server? If somebody sends me images, do I want to automatically download them? And signature. You notice that each of these messages has the signature down here on bottom, sent from Windows Mail. So I might want to do something like this. Maybe I'll delete that and I'll say something like that. Email address, you see it's grayed out. You can't change that, but it tells you what that is. And email notifications. So as email comes in, do you want Windows to notify you with a little message at the top of the screen? And that's really it. I'll just click on the background here. And you know, since I changed it to company mail, there it is. Kind of cut off because it's a bit of a long name.